Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened Empowered Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone is doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited again because my next guest is a spiritual coach, holistic wellness coach, cosmetologist, light worker, empath, mental health advocate, small business advocate, Chamber of Commerce member, and a whole lot more. But without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Cyndi Violi. How are you doing today, Cyndi?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very
Yeah,
honored. I was very flattered when you went into my DMs and invited me here. So very,
absolutely.
very blessed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are very welcome. And I would just like to say that I believe that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to decide and choose to spend some of your time here in the history of your timeline here with me on Enlightened Empowered Evolved, I would like to say, extend my sincerest gratitude to you. So thank you very much for being here at this present moment. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. There's only the present moment. It's a lifestyle for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I am totally um, absorbed in this present moment and thankful for it. And just, yes, yes, anticipating at the
Yeah.
same time and just allowing it to unfold. And yes, I appreciate it. So let's just get right into it. So,
Okay.
spiritual coach, I want to just start with that. I can say holistic wellness coach, but let's just start with it, unless those two connect right together. How did you become a spiritual coach, and what does that all entail from in your perspective, in your personal journey?
It is all connected,
Yes,
100% from head to toe, inside, outside.
absolutely.
Um, I became very intuitive at a young age, and I always knew that there was something there, but it was kind of all shut down.
Okay.
So, fast forward into what started my spiritual journey was basically when I got shut down. We were all shut down for COVID, right?
Mm,
And
2020.
I was forced, yes, exactly. I was forced to spend time with myself. I
Right,
worked two jobs, supporting the family, got kids in baseball and got a girl, daughter in soccer and all this. But
right,
all that was taken away, right? And I just had myself. I had to discover who I am, have self discovery. I had to develop and learn emotional intelligence. And all of these really amazing things came to me
right.
during this time that I had to spend by myself.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And in my perspective, just from what I've been exposed to, the experiences from other people, a lot of people either imploded, so to speak, during 2020, went crazy, sort of, or
Hmm.
or they evolved. You know,
Yes,
they looked within and they started to develop, some amazing, gifts and tap into themselves, their intuition and to their power. It just that's amazing.
that's what I'm here for. And I knew that, being an empath, I
Right,
was a people pleaser. So I stopped doing that. I understood what people pleasing was. So I stopped doing that. But cultivating self love and self love practices and spending time with myself and loving and nurturing myself. That's what I help guide my clients into. Let's stop the busy work for, an hour and spend 1 hour in my treatment room, just you and me, just all about you. And it's very difficult to get people to do that, right? But when
right,
you have no other choice, you just spend time by yourself if there's no other distractions around. So that's really what got me into tapping into my own intuition. I had seen a medium a few times. I've had, some people close to me pass, and it gave me a lot of clarity and peace of mind knowing like kind of what happened. So she
right.
told me right then and there, she's like, you've got this. You can actually talk to them. You don't need me.
Mm,
And she was right. when I was actually shut down, tapping into my higher self, discovering who I am, what my purpose is here. And I've been in 53 years of service,
Wow.
doing hair, doing
Wow.
manicures and pedicures for people with diabetes, because for a long time nail salons weren't safe.
Mm,
And it's just service, service, service. And
right.
now I don't mind doing that service because I'm protecting myself first, and I'm filling up that cup, and bringing my energy through myself and into myself. And of course I have higher power, right, that brings
Right.
more of that vibration. And I'm always high. There's not
Right.
a lot that can take me and bring me down.
Oh,
We
wow.
shine our light, and
I
we do
like that.
not let anybody dim that. Yeah, and that's the emotional intelligent part that comes in, where it's all connected.
Mm.
We teach people not to allow other people to control their emotions or their behaviors. Like,
Yes.
you made me do it. No, you
Yes.
have a choice.
Yes.
It's you, right? Whether you're gonna hit somebody, or you're gonna yell at somebody, or you're gonna give somebody a compliment. You're in control of all of that. Not one single person can make you do that, right?
Wow.
So that's where the emotional intelligence comes from, and the mindset. We have to switch up our mindset and have a healthy mindset.
Right. Right. And you said a lot of uh, made a lot of key points that really resonate with me. And I'll try my best to recall the ones, especially that stood out to me. Number one is just like what you just said. I used to be in that narrative too, that people are making me angry or making me. It's like it took me a while to understand that the words or the action have to go through your ears or your eyes and be interpreted in your brain before you decide yourself how to react to it. So nobody is really making you do anything. You are deciding to interpret something a certain way and to react a certain way and to allow it to trigger certain behaviors or actions. So, yes,
Yeah,
when we are mindful of that and observe that, then we can start working on it. In my
exactly. And you
oh,
mentioned
go ahead.
trigger. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
You
No,
had
no, I was
mentioned
just going to say in my
triggers. Yeah.
specific
Mhm.
circumstance, it hasn't been easy because
Oh,
I've
none of
always
it
been
is.
an impulsive person um, that, and this connects to what else I was going to say, that always pointed fingers and blamed, and everything was from the outside in instead of the inside out. And another point that you made, and then I want to hear you, is a high priority as far as I'm concerned, in my perspective, is like Marcus Aurelius said, know thyself, get comfortable with yourself, be okay with yourself. Because if you're not, or I won't even say if you're not, I'll say the more you get to love yourself, appreciate yourself, the less you will need outside things to contribute to your happiness. You know, you won't be looking for the next rush or next shiny thing to make you happy. You will already have it. So you'll bring that happiness wherever, whatever circumstance there is.
Exactly.
Not saying that you can't be thrown off your game and things can't contribute to sadness or whatnot, but you'll be better equipped to be more in harmony and balance by, like you said, getting in tune, with yourself.
Exactly.
Right,
And Marcus Aurelius is somebody I listen to on a daily.
right,
In case anybody doesn't know, he is a philosopher, and he's a Stoic philosopher. And
right,
that is a lifestyle. I choose that lifestyle. Everybody listening can choose that lifestyle. Listen to the videos on YouTube. I pay $26 a month. I get no commercials, family. My kids are loving it. And I get to, send them. And that's the other thing, is I get to. We want to make sure that we say our words right.
right,
Oh, I have to sit in traffic. No, we get to sit in traffic. Why do we get to sit in traffic? Because we get a car. We get to have a driver's license. We get to have the freedom to do so, right? So we get to do these things. I get to give that to my kids, right? And so that goes along with that mindset. And people that are triggered, we got to work on those. If people are being triggered by another action or something that somebody is saying, that's something you got to work on with yourself and
Right.
within yourself, right? We're all going to
Yep.
have triggers because everybody in this world has suffered some sort of trauma,
Mm,
regardless of what type
agree.
of trauma it is. Somebody, whether it's a coworker, I mean, the minus little little trauma is still a trauma, and it could
Right.
take a long time for somebody to heal from a very little trauma as well.
Right.
So we got to figure out, like, even to this day, I'm like, okay, why did that get me upset? Why was that triggered? Let me
Right.
go into myself during meditation, go to my higher self, go to my spirit guides, and ask the divine, what is going on? What do I need to still clear out and balance out, so that my day to day, everybody that I come in contact with, I either align or I don't. And if I don't
Mm,
spend a lot of time with those people. I don't
there you go.
engage a lot, right? I keep it short
Yes.
and sweet. And then I have to cleanse myself.
Right.
I walk
No,
around with crystals all the time.
that is amazing. And
Mhm.
if I may elaborate a bit and even add
Sure.
some of my own perspectives to that, my own personal experiences. And the reason my eyes are closed is because I'm trying to recall, um, some scenarios where that it will add even more value um, to what you just stated. But when someone can trigger you, and I'm speaking from my own experiences, and I finally know this now, it's because you're unbalanced within yourself because no words or anything, and I mean everything. It doesn't mean what anyone calls me unless I decide that's that's upsetting to me. I don't have to attach myself to it.
Exactly.
I have to, I, that's, that's them. This is me, you know?
Hmm.
And anything short, especially, and I know it can kind of push it to anything physical. No, there's no reason to be triggered, you know? Uh yeah. So what I've learned in my journey and including some things that I'm still working on myself is that no one should have the power to control
Mm.
your emotions. That includes your happiness too. I mean, people can accent and your happiness, but contribute to your happiness, but they shouldn't be able to give you happiness, and that's no
Right.
one's
That's
job, or
exactly.
give you misery. So yeah,
Exactly. That's a lot to put on a relationship,
right,
whether it's, a coworker relationship, a parent or a family member, or a romantic one. That is
right,
a lot of pressure to put on somebody. Oh, you are my world. You are my happiness.
right.
And that is
Yes,
kind of manipulative, right?
it is.
Trying to be nice here.
Right,
We are our happiness. We have to
right.
be happy within ourselves first before we can truly have a good, happy relationship with somebody else. And it takes two. The other person needs to have that happiness and have that growth within themselves, right? If they're
Mm,
holding on to trauma, from one relationship to another, and they're just not dealing with that trauma, and they just keep going to those relationships, they're going to continue having those issues, and it doesn't
right,
matter who they go to, right?
right,
So it's really, 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 really important to do what you can. um, I mean, with therapy or coaching,
right,
to really get guidance on the
right.
right way to do that. Because if you go outside of yourself and you're looking for professional help, you want to be very careful, because most of our answers are within ourselves. All we have to
Mm,
do is meditate,
right.
be still with ourselves. If you need a little music like what I have in the background, it's a little vibe. It really helps relax the mind. And I have on my wall here, quiet the mind and the soul will speak. And it happens
Mm,
every single
single
time.
time.
But again, it's a practice. It didn't happen for me every single time when I first started. I started
Right,
with the Calm app.
right,
This is no sponsorship or anything. I'm not getting paid for it, but
right.
that's literally what helped me get started. And I refer that to my brand new clients. I'm like, this is what I want you to do at home every morning and every night. There's a
Exactly.
specific one at night, a meditation that you can do that helps you get good rest. And we need that good rest between 2 and 5, right?
Right.
So it's all 100% connected. And I was actually a coach, a holistic health and wellness coach first, and
Right.
then I tapped into my spirituality when I had to be, by myself and do, I
Right.
mean, it all happened in my bathroom taking baths.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Hey, hey, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I got
Yeah.
really, really sick. I had a coli food poisoning for about 3 weeks.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was the
Sorry
weakest
to hear
I've
that.
ever been. Yeah, it was
Sorry.
horrible. And
Oh,
this was during COVID too.
wow. Wow.
So it pushed me into this whole, like, I saw flashes of how I used to be.
Mm,
I
right.
actually baptized myself in the bathtub. It was the
Oh, wow.
most bizarre thing where you don't have control of yourself anymore. Like, it's a higher power.
Yes.
And these
I get it.
experiences have changed my life in such a dramatic way that I'll never go back. I actually feel
Mm,
sorry. I feel bad for the old Cyndi, the
right.
way she was, and the way she grew up and what she was exposed to,
Right.
and thought that those things were okay. And
Right.
it's not. So that's
Right.
why I'm not a gatekeeper anymore. I'm not holding on to any information anymore. My YouTube is just, I'm so busy. I only have time to upload some videos here and there. But what I can do is help whoever's listening at that moment, hopefully. And that's what
Yes.
it's all about.
I
If
agree.
it's come to you, whether it's only 5 videos, it's come to you and it's meant for
Mm,
you, you know? So
yes.
I'm just taking some of my own life experiences and sharing them.
Right. I resonate with everything that you just said. And that's exactly what I am passionate about as well. Not being any type of gatekeeper, but to that the purpose of this podcast when it came to me was, first of all, I enjoy talking. Some say
Mm-hmm.
I talk too much, and my perspective on that is those that value what I have to say aren't going to think I talk too much. So I tell that to people.
Exactly.
I say, so
Yes,
obviously,
exactly. It's a great
obviously you
perspective.
don't find any value to what I'm saying, which is fine. That it's
Mm-hmm.
okay with me, because I'm getting value out of what I'm saying.
Right,
and
exactly. It's the
and
people who
and
don't understand,
right,
you know.
right.
Yeah,
And
they don't get it.
I feel like I attract others that on the similar frequencies that we get value out of one another's dialogue, and expressions. So I have no problem with you know deep or surface criticism, because everybody has
Mm-hmm.
their own perspectives, and it's fine. And that just teaches me to be okay and be balanced no matter what. Not thinking that I have to get
Exactly.
praise all the time, not be attached to praise or criticism, but just take it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that
Right.
I
It
don't
is.
enjoy the praise, but I can learn to enjoy the criticism as well. Like, okay, thank you for sharing me
Mm-hmm.
your perspective. You
It
know,
helps us grow.
yeah,
It helps us grow listening
it
to other people's
does.
perspective,
It's
and
it
we're
does.
like, oh, that's how they think. Okay. Well, Joe Dispenza, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
I believe that our personality is our reality, right?
Right.
So our reality forms that personality, and what our thoughts are, there you go. Yay. I love the man. He is a genius. He's
Yes.
absolute genius. That's a great book. I don't
Yes.
have that book, but I've heard about that.
Yep.
I listen to Joe Dispenza on a daily as well. Greg Brady, Abraham Hicks,
Oh, I love Greg
Dolores
Braden.
Cannon.
Oh,
Yeah,
see?
Greg Braden is
See, that's why
awesome, isn't
we're
he?
connected right now. See,
Yeah.
we have similar. I
Mm-hmm.
love Louise Hay. I love Greg Braden. I love,
Yeah.
yeah, Joe Dispenza. I love just so much more. Wayne Dyer. Yeah, Esther Hicks. Yeah, Stuart
Mm-hmm.
Wilde. Yeah, a whole lot more. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Joe talks about that, like
Yes.
what our reality is and our
Right.
personality. It's all connected. So if we have
Right.
a really chaotic life, our personality is going to be chaotic,
Mm,
right? And vice
yes.
versa. So I choose peace over conflict, and it really has
There
brought
you
a
go.
lot of happiness.
See, I like how you said that.
You
Eh,
know,
Sorry for interrupting you, but I like how you said that. I
it's okay.
choose, because it's a
Hmm.
choice. A lot of people,
It is.
at one point, and I was going to say a lot of people, but at one point myself, I didn't understand that it was a choice. No, what choice? You made me. No, and the more
Hmm.
I became, more conscious, um, then I realized that was so um, almost ignorant, because I didn't know, and ignorant doesn't mean I'm really talking about myself. It just means I wasn't aware that that type of thinking was not
Exactly.
conducive to health, to balance, to harmony, that type of
Hmm.
thinking. And I'm thankful I no longer think that way anymore. You know, that,
Isn't that grace? It's just
yeah,
grace. Joe
it is.
Dispenza also says that what people think about us or say about us is none of our business. And I
Exactly.
100% agree with that. I don't get into other people's business that get into my business. If you're
Right.
sitting there talking about me, whether it's positive or negative, okay, well, I'm in your thoughts. I must be
Right.
doing something right
Something you
for
did
you to be thinking about me instead
me.
of going on with your own life. But
Yep.
I'm just going to keep trucking along
Right.
and do my thing. And you can
Right.
just,
Right.
watch.
Yes. And even to even add to that, if you ever have an encounter where someone is pointing things out, you know you're a person right now that follows energy. You know if someone's intentions are elevating or are they just projecting their own
Mm-hmm.
uh you know what I mean, their own
I
uh,
do.
negativity or their own, problems to you by pointing at you. There's a
Mm-hmm.
difference by the way someone will present themselves if they're trying to be helpful or if they're just trying to put you down because they're angry and they're resentful. And yes, I am thankful that I am learning to be aware of that and
Mm-hmm.
to keep myself from being that way too. Because yes, I don't
Absolutely.
want to be in that realm where I'm criticizing anyone, because who
Mm-hmm.
am I to criticize anyone, to be honest with you?
Right.
Yeah. Hmm.
I agree with that. People project their unhealed parts of them
Right.
onto others. Okay. So
Right.
that's how I view it. If somebody like, you know, I'm in California. Okay. It's sirens all the time. It's honking, people yelling at each other. I'm like, people are so mean. And I encounter this every day. And I'm such a peaceful driver that,
Right.
people cut me off and I'm like, yeah, I guess if you needed to be there, it's more important.
Right.
But the point is that um people are constantly honking and they're so frustrated and they're so angry and they're
Yes.
just taking it out on somebody who just wants to make a right hand turn, right?
Right.
And instead we just go on with our day, let that go,
Yes.
pretend it didn't even happen, and give
Yes.
yourself peace of mind. It's
Right.
whoever did that cannot control your emotion, right?
Right.
And there's just so
Yes.
much anger. And
Right.
so I think that, on that stoic side, you just let it go. You let
Mm.
it go for your own
Yes.
peace of mind. You're not letting it go for them. What's it going to do to scream and yell or flip them off or
No,
honk your
nothing.
horn?
That's ego.
Right?
That's ego.
They're going there. Exactly. Ego death needs to happen. I tell my clients that all the time. But you just let that go and then move on with
Right.
your day. And you
Mm.
see how much more peace comes to you. I used
Right.
to do a commute. I get it. Now I only drive 6 miles. There's
Wow.
a good reason. I put in
Yes.
my time.
Good. That's good. And I call it exactly what you were articulating. The pictures you were painting about people honking and being so frustrated. I have observed that that's what I call looking for something to attach your anger to. And you can tell when someone is like that.
And
If
blame.
someone gets totally flustered over a turn or a light because you took a couple of seconds to go and they're just totally angry, it's because it was already there. You just gave
Mhm.
them something in their mind to attach that to, to say, see,
Exactly.
that's why I'm angry. See, because of that.
Hmm.
It doesn't take much when someone's in that mind frame to
Right. And they
set
don't
them off.
get that
Right.
they're supposed to stop at that light. They don't
Right.
get that that was supposed to happen because maybe 5 minutes down the road, there's an accident. They
Right.
possibly could have been, in. So it's always a higher power. Not everything is meant for us, and we can't control
Right.
everything that happens.
Exactly.
So if we look at our maps and we're on our way to somewhere and then you hit traffic, there's a reason for that. And you
Right.
know what? We need to be grateful for it
Mm,
because we're still free. We still get to have a car. We still get to
right.
put gas in it. And we still get to go. So we need
Right.
to be grateful even for those challenges. And that's the higher power challenging you to grow and to get out of
Yes.
that mindset and get into a better one.
Yes. And also look for the lessons in it, whatever, even
Yes,
if you can't see it
100%.
at the time. When you do calm down and meditate, you'll often find that there's some type of lesson trying to teach you something. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
teaching me to calm down and relax.
Exactly.
Stop being so, I'm going to give myself a stroke or a heart attack, getting so high strung over everything, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
And the universe has this thing where it will continue to give you these certain scenarios until you do learn. And you think it's the
Absolutely.
opposite. Why would I keep going through this? Because you haven't learned yet.
Yep. Yep. You
You
still have
haven't
that mindset.
surrendered yet.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And surrender was one of the big things this morning. I was at the mayor's
Right.
prayer breakfast this morning, and surrender, they were like, in church, why do people put up their hands? And the pastor's like, because it's surrender. This is when you do
Right.
this, you're
Right.
surrendering, whether
Yes.
you're the police tell you or you're
Right. No, it's
surrendering,
true.
right?
It's surrender.
And
That's a sign
it's
of
surrender.
surrender. Like,
Hmm.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not putting up a fight. I'm going
Hmm.
with the flow. I'm going with the program. I'm going with the universe God is instructing me to do. I get it.
Yeah. And the universe is
Amazing.
in control. Yeah. The universe is
Exactly.
in control. You have to surrender to it in order to get what you want. And you
Mm,
have to live up to what you're asking for. You
right.
can't
Oh,
go and
I
rob
like
liquor
that.
stores.
I like
You
that.
can't go rob liquor stores, but then ask the universe to bless you with abundance of wealth,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're
Nope.
stealing, right?
You're
You're
stealing.
not going to get it. You
Nope.
have to be at that level, that vibrational level that you're
Right.
asking for.
Right.
Abraham Hicks will tell you,
Oh, yes. Oh, I love
you
listening
know?
to Esther
Yeah.
Hicks. Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
love her voice. Hers
It
and
took me the longest time to figure out why she has two different names. Sorry to interrupt
oh,
you, but it was
yes.
just
Oh, no, no.
hilarious.
I know it took me a while too. I didn't understand at
Hmm.
first. I'm like, where's this Abraham? Is she talking about Abraham Lincoln? I mean, who's she talking about? And then I found out it's an entity she's tapping
Higher
into,
power.
a higher
Yeah.
power energy that she's tapping
Or
into,
her higher self.
higher
Yeah.
self that she's tapped into, and it
Hmm.
speaks to her in real time. Ours does
Yeah.
too, but happens to just be
She's
repeating it.
super tapped into it.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
super tapped into it. Yes, that's amazing. And yeah, I even was skeptical about it,
Hmm.
but she tells people, not that she's a fortune teller, but she has I've watched segments where she's told people about themselves that she couldn't have possibly known, and
Hmm.
they're like,
Yeah.
that's
She's the
because
real deal.
Abraham knew. Abraham already looked and was there and saw behind the scenes and came back and told her, and she said it
Hmm.
to them, and they're like, how the heck did you know that? Abraham told me.
And she talks so fast.
Oh,
You know
she
what I mean?
does. She does.
It's
Because
like
so
all
much,
these messages is
yeah,
coming so
it's
fast.
coming
Yeah.
so fast in her head. I think she's just trying to get it all out there as she gets it. Yeah, she
Hmm.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very high strung. But
Yep.
she is the real deal, and I've
Oh, yeah.
I've grown so much by listening to her.
Oh, I'd love to go see her in
Yeah.
person. One day, I hope to do it. Yeah, because I wanted to go see Louise Hay, and then she passed away, and that saddened me. I wanted to go see her in Las Vegas. I wanted to see Bob Proctor as well, but then he left. So, yeah, I want to make sure that yeah, manifest
It's
being in her audience before she's
yeah.
gone. Yeah.
It's a life experience. I've never been, but I have a very close friend that's in Australia that went to Joe Dispenza's.
Mm,
Um,
right.
I don't know what you call it, like his conference.
Right.
And she literally had like her life was projected onto stage, like her
Mhm.
spirit. And
Right.
she went through this whole experience, and it was so incredible to listen to her. She was so excited. Joe Dispenza is definitely somebody. I mean, I don't even care how much that ticket is. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
same here.
If
Joe,
if the ticket wasn't two
Greg
thousand
Braden.
dollars to go to Australia, I would have gone.
Oh yeah, Greg Braden too.
You
He's
know?
so tapped
Hmm.
into to spirit and heart space energy and just so much. He's traveled the world and just tapped into to tribes and everything. Just so spiritual. Just
Yeah,
amazing. He's an amazing man. Uh
sure.
so yes, while we are here, can you share with us uh audibly a couple of your links that people can find
Oh,
you or tap in with you?
yes. So on YouTube, I am Cyndi Violi at Coach Sin 1111, and then on Instagram, I am Coach Dotson CYN, and then Instagram is the Girlfriend Den with the underscore. So it's the word the GRLFRND, and then the word den with the underscore. And that's how you can find me and what I'm doing. The Girlfriend Den is my treatment room where I work out of. Like I said, I'm part of the community, so you'll see a lot of community events and our ribbon cuttings and like the mayor's prayer breakfast this morning. I post everything on our Instagram and just really get the community engaged in that. And then Coach Sin is more on my spiritual side. I do have a TikTok, which is called Infinite Light, INFINATE. LIGHT, infinite light. That's all spirituality. There's none of my beauty stuff on there. It's 100% everything that I do in the spiritual world on TikTok. And what I'm trying to do is download some of those, take those videos and put them onto my YouTube videos, because TikTok eventually is going to go away.
Right.
So kind of navigating that has been a little bit of a challenge, getting those videos uploaded on YouTube. I feel like I have some limits or something like that. I don't know, but we're working on that. So I appreciate that. Those are my links. And then I'm also doing a retreat June 7th through the 10th in Big Bear, California. So it's Divine Soul Retreats .love, and we're doing that. So just a way for people to connect and meet new people. We're going to give you all the tools, modalities to learn here at this retreat to take home with you and teach you. And it's all inclusive. So like all the food is included, all the spa treatments, our nature walks, everything is included. So it's going to be a really nice 3 days to unplug, get out of the city, put your phones away, and just spend some time self-discovery and some self-love, and come out the best version of yourself. And then you get to go home with all of this knowledge. And there's going to be a lot of Reiki. We do a lot of Reiki during our meditations, and the yoga we're doing is yin yoga. So what yin yoga does is it releases trauma. So you sit in these yoga positions for like 5 to 7 minutes, or as long as you can. And that's the kind of the difference, where it's a longer period of time for each pose, but it does release a lot of stagnant energy and trauma.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Everything sounds absolutely beautiful, and it just flows so well, just the way that you talked about everything connected, the retreats and everything. Yes. Amazing. So thank you very much, Cyndi, again, for
You're
being
welcome.
here
Thank
and
you.
bringing value to not only myself, but to the platform and everyone else who is watching and or listening. I appreciate you very much for uh, just condensing, a lot of what you know and your experiences into this 30-minute segment. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I thank you so much for having me. I'm very grateful. And I look forward to working with you again. I'm
Absolutely.
following you, and I was watching your videos. So yeah.
Absolutely. You are welcome. If you need me anywhere, or you're welcome, you have anything else you would like to talk about, I'm just a click away. Just message me and let me know. Hey, let's do another one. And there will be no
Okay.
problem.
Sounds
No problem
perfect.
at all. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for sharing some of your precious time here with my guest and I. And I really appreciate it. Really appreciate that you're tuning in and your support. And be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this. Leave comments. Yes, get this out there, help the platform grow, and help get this amazing dialogue out there. Help enlighten, empower, and evolve humanity. I appreciate it. Until next time, see you soon. Love and appreciation, enlightened, empowered, evolved.